Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the top 10 students for the class of 2021. Welcome parents and family members. Welcome to our teachers, Board of Education members, our central office personnel, Dr. Radlick, Dr. Sipe, Mrs. Gibbs, Mr. Ziegler. Welcome to Ann Rhodes, our director of the community school, and members of the administrative team that are watching this ceremony. I am very excited to share this evening with you, and even though we may not be in person, this is still going to be a special ceremony. One very positive thing about celebrating this event in the virtual setting is that the talents, experiences, and authentic feelings can be shared on a larger scale. Usually, only the people in attendance at our event get to hear the fascinating attributes of our students and teachers. In the virtual setting, our stories, insight, and appreciation of one another will be able to be shared with hundreds of friends and families, and it will be saved for our posterity. The top 10 students for the class of 2021 are special people. They represent what it means to be well-rounded citizens. Not only are they outstanding students in the classroom, but they're so much more. They're athletes, performing artists, visual artists, philanthropists, active community members, leaders, and all-around great people. We're going to count down from 10 to 1. Each student and teacher has shared a video about what each student or teacher means to each other. This is a fitting culmination of 13 very successful years of education. Our students, teachers, and parents all deserve high praise for their efforts. I know I speak for my administrative colleagues and our central office personnel and our Board of Education members when I say to you all, congratulations. To get us started, we're going to start at number 10. Here to speak, Timothy Alves, and the teacher of choice, Judy Bedoya.
Hello, I'm Tim Alves, and I'll be attending Florida State University this fall to major athletic training with the goal to become a physical therapist. Throughout my time in the Roxbury school system, I have had many teachers who have impacted my life in positive ways. One who stands out to me is Ms. Bedoya. I was fortunate to be in Ms. Bedoya's class my sophomore and junior years. Ms. Bedoya has never failed to let me be myself. I am a social person who enjoys sharing my ideas with others and engaging in productive discussion. Ms. Bedoya allowed me to be open with my thoughts, and she encouraged me to engage with my classmates. She listens to her students when they have a question or opinions about a relevant topic. Ms. Bedoya truly encouraged us to be open and not fear being our true selves. Secondly, Ms. Bedoya always did an exceptional job at keeping her students engaged. I am sure we could all relate to having a teacher who simply stood in front of the class and lectured. Instead, Ms. Bedoya would have us collaborate on interesting projects or have us work on activities where we could move around and learn new information. Her strategies for engaging her students stand out to me and have had significant impact on my learning. Lastly, Ms. Bedoya had made an effort to get to know her students. As well as teaching us how to conjugate verbs or put together sentences, she would also ask us to have how our other classes were going, if we did anything fun over the weekend, or if we won our latest sporting event. She wanted us to feel valued as people, not just students. We could talk to her about anything going on in our lives. Her genuine interest let us know that no matter the circumstances, we had someone to talk to. For this reason, Ms. Bedoya is not only a great teacher, but an exceptional mentor. Ms. Bedoya has taught me the importance of developing connections that make people feel heard and valued. As a physical therapist, it will be my priority to care for my patients and understand what they are feeling and experiencing physically and emotionally. Ms. Bedoya has done an excellent job at not only being a teacher, but also being a model of what it means to be invested in others. Ms. Bedoya, I don't know if you remember, but I told you my sophomore year that I would choose you to honor me at the top 10 dinner. And here we all are, but with no dinner.
Hello everyone, my name is Judy Bedoya. I am the lead teacher for the World Language Department and one of the Spanish teachers here at Roxbury High School. I have been teaching at Roxbury for more than 13 years, and I have had the pleasure of having many wonderful and bright students come through my door. Before the beginning of every school year, I always look forward to meeting new faces and welcoming back those that pursue interest in the Spanish language. A couple of years ago, I came across a very smart and talented young man joining us here tonight. Timothy Albis. Not only was Tim an exemplary student of the Spanish language, he was also a very respectful and charismatic person. He always made it a point to wish me a good morning when he entered my classroom and a good day when he left. Tim was a team player and a very conscious student, always wanting to know more and make sure what he understood was the right thing. He was always on task and eager to learn. I have had the pleasure of having Tim as my students for 2 years. In Spanish 3 honors as a sophomore, and again, in Spanish 4 honors as a junior. From the beginning, he demonstrated an interest in learning the language and culture. He will tell me stories about how he could now converse with his grandparents who come from Spain, thanks to what he learned in the classroom. He applied what was taught in his own life. It was awesome as a teacher to see him growing in the classroom and as a young man with his peers. Tim, I know that you're going to be successful at anything you do in life, not only because of your work ethic, but because you are kind, humble, smart, and a great person. I wish you only the very best. I am grateful that I got the opportunity to teach students like you who value the importance of education in their lives. Thank you. Have a good night.
Next, we have Adriana Harelja, and her staff member of choice is a Franklin guidance counselor and her cheerleading coach, Gal Acosta.
Hi, my name is Adriana Harelja, and I will be attending Rutgers University in the fall with a major in psychology. I would like to honor Mrs. Lacosta as I've had the pleasure of being on her team throughout all 4 years of high school, including 8 separate seasons. She's been my coach for both fall cheerleading and competition cheerleading, and throughout this time, she has taught me numerous lessons, both directly and indirectly. Entering high school, I was definitely very shy. Entering a new environment as a freshman can be scary, and it was something I was definitely nervous about. Despite this, I was able to quickly realize that Coach Gail put a huge emphasis on working together as both a team and a family. Being on her team, I was able to quickly feel at home at Roxbury High School. Although these past 4 years have been difficult, Coach Gail has always reminded me to have fun along the way. Even in our most stressful moments, she has kept a positive attitude that has motivated me to keep going. Coach Gail always prioritizes hard work and getting things done, but she never fails to leave room for having fun and a good time, as she recognizes these are both key aspects in our success. Coach Gail has also taught me to never give up. This has become especially evident in this past year. Gail has led us to become national finalists 2 years in a row, and one of them being this past year with many difficulties in our way. Many other teams were unfortunately unable to continue their seasons and were not ready to perform at nationals, but she made sure that we were. While it would have been easy to give up or let the obstacles stop us, she did not give up on our team. Coach Gail was very logical in how she approached our year. She made sure that we could have a season that was as normal as possible while still staying safe. She proved that she's not afraid to be challenged, and in fact, she thrives in that environment. I admire how she is never swayed by outside factors or negative opinions of others in being who she is and what she wants to do. I have found that it can be difficult to be yourself, especially in high school, but Coach Gail has been an inspiration in this regard of life. Not only does she juggle work and coaching, which is basically a full-time job, she always demonstrates passion in doing so. Even with her busy schedule, she's able to put 100% into everything. She isn't afraid to show her spirit and her passion, and she always acts with others in her best interest. She has inspired me to always go above and beyond in what I do, even if I have a lot on my plate. She has no problem staying extra hours to help us with tumbling, perfecting our stunts, or literally anything we need help with. I find it interesting in how many of the things she teaches us in cheer applies to life. For instance, she always tells us, when we're on a certain aspect of our routine to not worry about the next thing we're doing, because you're not going to be able to succeed if you're constantly worrying about the next thing. And this is something that I have definitely been able to apply in my real life, because I'm always worrying about the next thing. But with this advice in mind, it has definitely helped me a lot and brought me a lot of comfort. And these are just some of the ways that Coach Gail has been able to impact me. And Although these are cheer skills, they have definitely carried over into all aspects of my life, especially in the classroom. Without the cheer environment that Gail aided in creating, I do not think I would have been able to be the best student that I could be, as cheer has been a place where I was able to do something I love and forget other stressors from school and other things. While Coach Gail was not the typical school teacher that I had, I can definitely say that she has been one of my greatest teachers in life. I hope that I can one day pass on some of the lessons she has taught me and make just as much of an impact as she has been able to do for me. So Coach Gail, although students and cheerleaders may not always be very vocal about it, you have made a huge impact on various aspects of our lives, so make sure you keep doing what you do.
Congratulations, Adriana. Thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of this special moment. I am so proud of you and all of your accomplishments. Your hard work and dedication has definitely paid off. Not only are you an incredible scholar, but you are also a fantastic athlete. From the moment I met you your freshman year, you have always pushed yourself to do your best and work hard. You are one of the only freshmen to make both varsity fall and varsity competition. Graduating top 10 in your class is such an amazing accomplishment, and you should just be so proud of yourself. Not only did you do this, but you also did this while getting 8 varsity letters, winning 2 regional championships, and 2 national finalist titles. Being your coach has been such an amazing experience, and I have loved watching you grow into the amazing adult you are today. I know you're going to go on and do incredible things, and I can't wait to see you achieve them all. Good luck at Rutgers. I know you're going to crush it, and don't forget to come visit us. Bye.
Next, we have Declan Strout and a teacher of his choice, Mrs. Carrie Lisa.
Hello, my name is Declan Strout and I will be attending the University of New Haven, where I will be studying computer science. The teacher that I have selected to honor is Mrs. Lisa. I've always been very reserved, but Mrs. Lisa creates a comfortable environment in her classroom that makes it easier for me to participate. I've never felt anxious in her class, and I believe that this has helped me do well and has made it easier for me to learn. The classroom schedule is also very lenient, which has helped me be less stressed about my classes. It is a safe classroom that I've never had to dread going to, and I'd like to thank her for that.
Hola a todos. Me llamo Señora Lisa y soy profesora de español aquí en Roxbury High School. First, please allow me to congratulate all of you on your amazing accomplishments. I know how hard you have worked, and that work has clearly paid off. Congrats to all of you. Declan, congrats to you, to your brother, and to your parents. You are clearly a loving and supportive family. Mr. and Mrs. Strout, you have raised wonderful, polite, kind, and responsible boys, and I can only imagine how proud you are. But Declan, I have to tell you, I am also extremely proud of you. I first taught you when you were a sophomore, and it was quite evident that you were an extremely intelligent young man. No matter what verb tense I threw your way, you conjugated them all with ease. No matter what historical, geographical, or even artistic fact I tossed your way, you learned it, internalized it, and remembered it. I cannot find words to tell you how proud I was when I saw that you took Spanish for your junior year. Your knowledge of the Spanish language is incredible. You write with ease and you express yourself so eloquently. When I saw your name on my roster in September this past school year, I was ecstatic and proud. I know that you have had to put yourself outside your comfort zone at times, and each and every time you have done so, I have been so incredibly impressed by you. To quote Roy Bennett, it's only after you've stepped outside your comfort zone that you begin to change, grow, and transform. Declan, you are ready for the next step, and you will continue to blossom, to grow, and to transform. You know it, and you know it. I have seen you step outside your comfort zone many times, and I have witnessed your amazing success. Do not fear failure, but rather fear not trying. So I hope that you go off and just have no fear of failure. Just keep trying and putting yourself out there. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for including me tonight. It is truly an honor. It has been my sincere honor, pleasure, and privilege to know you and teach you. Buena suerte en el futuro, pero yo sé que tendrás un montón de éxito y alegría en tu vida. Thank you all again. Have a good night.
Next, we have Amber Chen and the staff member of her choice, Mr. Nolan Erickson.
My name is Amber Chen, and I will be attending the United States Military Academy at West Point this fall. I plan on majoring in life sciences and hopefully becoming a doctor in the future. I have chosen Mr. Erickson, a passionate chemistry teacher and golf enthusiast who has helped fuel my interest in the science field, to honor. Mr. Erickson is one of the most caring, driven, and funny teachers I have ever had. His sarcasm always made my day, especially when he spoke about his life in Canada, particularly in his Canadian accent, and when he spoke about his temporary career as a lumberjack. My favorite memories in his class were when I used to vent to him about life. Whether it was about school or about my personal life, Mr. Erickson was always there to lend an empathetic ear and a funny remark to help me feel better. Mr. Erickson was extremely relatable, and at every class he made me feel like he was not only my teacher, but my friend as well. I will always remember his devotion to helping his students become successful. No matter what was happening in his class or at home, Mr. Erickson never let me fail, and he always pushed me to be the best student and person I could be. In his class, I learned so many things. I learned to be more confident in my academic abilities. I learned to be more organized. I learned that it was okay to ask questions, especially if they seemed redundant. I learned that golf is not that bad of a sport. And most importantly, I learned that it is true that only a unique kind of person can truly be passionate about chemistry. Mr. Erickson's unique teaching style pushes his students to become more innovative and organized thinkers. And to me, he made one of the most difficult subjects offered by the school almost seem fun. Thank you, Mr. Erickson, for always believing in me even when it seemed like I was struggling, and for making 2 years of my high school experience that much better. I will never forget you or your outstanding devotion to brightening the lives and minds of your students. I would also like to thank all of my teachers, friends, and family members who have had a hand in my development throughout my high school career. I definitely could not have accomplished much without your help or support. Congratulations to all of the other recipients. It's a great day to be a Gale.
Hi there. Big congratulations to Roxbury's academic top 10 this year. These 12 past school years, you've shown, of course, that you're creme de la creme, and we're very proud of you. A very special thank you to Amber Chen, who thought of me today on her special day. I want to tell you a couple of things that I've noticed about Amber since I met her as a sophomore a few years back. All of these 10 students that we celebrate this evening are gifted with two special things. First, their ability. Now, I'm convinced that this ability is not something that they're born with, but created. And part of that is how willing, in my opinion, these students are to ask questions in front of their peers. It's at times, as teachers, difficult to pry out of these students what they understand and don't understand. Amber was always the most willing person in class to stand up and say, Mr. E, I don't understand what you're trying to say. And that always gave me an opportunity to revisit a concept and make sure she did understand. So to that end, it's no wonder she got as far as she has. She is not afraid to tell us, hey, go over it again. The second piece is work ethic. Look at the academic history of this young woman, 9 AP classes, I think, 13 honors classes. Wow. To take on such a massive workload with her extracurricular commitments is truly extraordinary. I remember back in the winter of 1920, I was sitting having dinner with my family, and I got an email from Amber, who told me in the email that she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to get the AP Chem assignment done because she was on her way with her mom into New York City for her travel volleyball team, and she was trying to do her homework in the car, and the car broke down. Of course, I was surprised that in such a time she was concerned more about getting her homework done than the car breaking down. Even more surprised when I discovered that she completed that assignment on her phone. So as we look ahead now to Amber's next challenge, as she's off in 3 weeks to West Point, I'm convinced that that work ethic, that commitment to never giving up will get her through what will be a very challenging program. So to that end, Amber, thank you so much. You will remain one of my very favorite students of all time. Godspeed, young.
Next, we have Clarence Aung and the teacher of his choice, Mr. Reed Meeker.
Hi, I'm Clarence Aung, and I'm going to be attending Northeastern University in the fall. At Northeastern, I'm going to be majoring in computer and electrical engineering, and also hopefully continue to play soccer there as well. For the ceremony, I chose to honor Mr. Meeker. Meeker has influenced me greatly during my time at Roxbury High School, especially in my sophomore year when he was my soccer coach. I remember how right off the bat, during the first week of preseason, he would pull me aside to give me pointers on how to take my game to the next level. For example, he stressed how important it was for me to communicate and take leadership on the field. And even though it definitely took some time, I developed and learned a lot more about the game from Meeker. And perhaps most importantly, became more confident and a better leader both on and off the field. Other than being a great coach, Meeker would also help me in Algebra 2, even though he wasn't my teacher that year. I remember me and a couple of friends would go to his VIP room the day before our test, and he would definitely help us a lot with the review. And some of my other fondest memories I have, I remember when we had that 1.5 hour bus ride to Lawrenceville. I remember we won 1-0 that night, such a great game, and we got pizza right after, and I remember receiving Meeker's coveted purple scarf. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, I remember the torturous 20-minute Iniesta drill he made us do one time, and it was absolutely painful, but you know, I realized that's why our team was great. Meeker had this great balance between hard work and having pure fun with the game, which I learned was something we can try to do, implement in everything we do. So yeah, even though he is a Man U fan, unfortunately, Meeker always believed in me and vouched for me as a player and student, and I'm very grateful for that. So thanks a lot, Mr. Meeker, and also thank you to all my teachers and friends who made my experience at Roxbury great, and congratulations and good luck to all the other recipients.
Hello, my name is Reed Meeker. I'm a teacher, math teacher at Roxbury High School, and I would first like to say congratulations to this year's top 10. If you haven't heard it, you probably have heard it a bunch already. You should be extremely proud, and this is a fantastic achievement that hopefully sticks with you for the rest of your life. It's a great accomplishment, so congratulations again. Thank you to our administration, the school district, and the community school for continuing this tradition of honoring these students who achieve so much academically. I think it's very important to recognize them and what they've done, so thank you again for continuing this. I'm honored and extremely grateful to take part of this event because I often hope that I can have an impact on people as much as other people have an impact on me. So when I first met Clarence, it was through soccer, and everybody who knew him already or other coaches who were telling me about him, they all just said, "Oh, you're gonna love him," or "He's a good kid. You're really gonna like him." It was almost as if there was too many good things to say, and they just wanted to, as easy as it could, yeah, you're just gonna love him. And that was everybody. It didn't matter. Former teachers, former coaches, and they were all right. All right, he was everything you could ask for in an athlete, a great kid, mature, good ethics, and yeah, like I said, they were all right. I admired greatly how Clarence carried himself as an athlete. He had extreme discipline in order to focus in any aspect, practice, meetings, events, anything. He was super focused and always concentrated. He always had this determination to improve, whether it was in a game, in practice, again, meetings when we were talking, he always wanted to get better, and it didn't matter whether he was playing all the time or not, he still wanted to get better. He finally had this desire to give his full effort. It's not that he just gave his full effort, he wanted to give his full effort all the time. And I think that's a very fine distinction, but it's an important one. He didn't just do it to do it, he wanted to do it, and it's something that fueled him and pushed the rest of the team because they saw the desire he had every time he stepped out on the field. A lot of that desire was towards helping others. He always thought of his teammates and really was the ultimate team player. You could throw all the classic coaching lines like, he's the first player on my team sheet, which he normally was. He was always playing. What's another one? I wish I had a team full of Clarences. Right, he's the athlete that every coach wants. Very coachable, listens, helps, does anything and everything for the team. So, yeah, I wish I had a team full of Clarences. And every winning team has a Clarence, right? That player who seems to always be part of winning teams for some reason, because of everything that they just bring. They just bring a winning mentality to it. And I feel like that's kind of the type of person Clarence is. His academics speak for themselves. I never had him as a student, but it's easy to imagine that what I saw from Clarence as an athlete, he did in the classroom. I'm a little upset that I didn't get to have him in the classroom because I think it would have been a lot of fun and challenging. A lot of these students here are students that teachers love to have because they challenge us to improve, and I think that would have been fun to work with somebody like Clarence, even though I did have some of the top 10 this year, and that was a lot of fun as well. So to wrap this up, for any of those of you watching that don't know Clarence yet, as everybody said to me, hopefully from this you've gathered that you're going to love him. To Clarence, thank you for this incredible honor. You're a great person, and you left a positive impression on me, whether you know that or not. Good luck. And I can't wait to hear about all the great things that you're going to do.
Our next student is Cheryl Peng, and the staff member she selected was Maria Rispoli.
Everyone, my name is Cheryl Peng, and this fall I will be heading to Boston University to study graphic design. I'm so excited to start this next chapter of my life, and I wouldn't be here without the support of my teachers, family, and friends. In this video, I like to honor Ms. Rispoli and thank her for making me the student I am today. As my freshman year English teacher, Ms. Rispoli completely changed the purpose of school for me and encouraged me to pursue my passions inside and outside the classroom. She taught me the importance of learning, and for the first time I truly saw how the schoolwork we did in the classroom translated to the outside world. I will always carry the lessons that I've learned inside her classroom with me, and I'm incredibly thankful to have had her as a teacher.
I'm sorry, did I interrupt pomp and circumstance? Of course, it's exactly what Ms. Rispoli would do. I want to welcome everybody here tonight. I do wish that we all could have been together. I am terribly sorry that a global pandemic makes us meeting in person a non-starter. But I'm here to wish all of the top 10 students at Roxbury High School a joyous graduation. And I specifically want to speak for Cheryl Peng, who I am honored invited me here. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for inviting me to stand with you today, even virtually, as you accept the well-earned accolades for the academic achievement and scholarship that you've exhibited throughout your entire school career. As an accomplished artist and an academic, honors and awards are not and will not be unfamiliar to you, Cheryl. A top 10 from the start, you have consistently demonstrated a passion for learning, and you maintained a humble spirit. Those qualities I've observed in you since you walked into my English 1 honors classroom in early September of 2017. Seems a lifetime ago now, doesn't it? You see, Cheryl, like all the others, had read, and many of you know what's coming, Fahrenheit 451 over the summer. Cheryl, just like the others, was required to analyze rather than read the text. And she was required, like the others, to memorize 20 lines of literature. 20 lines of literature that Cheryl thought should be remembered forever. Well, I was going through some of my paperwork, and I found the very first communication I ever received from Cheryl Peng, a 8th grader moving into 9th grade. She asked, "Is it okay if I memorize more than 20 lines?" Well, when we returned to school, the honor students had to prepare a written response. If we were together, you'd see me present her written response. The link says student model. And that's exactly who Cheryl is, a student model. From the beginning, she's been a role model for her classmates to follow. Cheryl's attention to detail, meticulous, precise, actually caused me quite the conundrum in September of 2017. If you know a little old school Italian, she caused me agita. How could I impact Cheryl in a positive way? How can I challenge her beyond her already advanced skills? And this really threw me for a loop. And a lot of you in the top 10 already know the answer. I raised expectations. I did. I demanded growth. I railed against perfection, demanding a focus on learning rather than on points and grades. Some of you parents may be freaking out thinking of that. I gave fewer guidelines, and I gave a lot more freedom. Many of the students in Cheryl's class hated that. They hated the freedom of choice. It's hard to make choices. But it was the empowerment that made each student rise to soaring heights, even the already advanced young Cheryl Peng. Even a top 10 student, a future top 10 student at the time, can face a stumbling block. And I do clearly remember Cheryl's. I'm wondering if she remembers it too. She may, in fact, be horrified that I'm about to reveal it. She was working in a small group. They were tasked with critically reading an anthropological-based satirical essay on the Nasaremas. I wanted my students to use contextual clues to identify satirical elements within the text. And as my eyes roamed the room, I saw Cheryl and her small group on their Chromebooks. Pretty much a violation of my demands for old school methodology. When I scolded the group for looking up the title rather than using their own thinking skills, Cheryl looked stricken. She paled. She apologized immediately, and I knew she meant it. She followed the apology later that day with a note, beautifully written, of course, expressing sincere remorse and accompanied by a promise to always rely on our own brain first. I did get other emails that night from two sets of parents who wanted me to know that their child was innocent, that their child would never do such a thing, that I was wrong and cruel and should apologize to their child. However, Cheryl, only 14 years old at the time, she owned her mistake. And I think that's a testament to you, Peng family, to the parents. I also think it's one of the reasons that she's here tonight, being celebrated for her academic achievement, while the others are not. And after teaching well over 2,000 students, many of whom have gone into highly professional and lucrative careers, I can credibly state that Cheryl's maturity, her acceptance of responsibility, her unrelenting drive to be better every day was, is, and remains her superpower. Her superpower. More important than artistic talent or academic achievement, though those are not without their own merit, Cheryl Peng has integrity of character. And as Eli Wiesel, the Nobel Prize winner, and the inspiration for Cheryl's final project of her freshman year once exhorted, one person of integrity can make a difference. Just last week I got to see Cheryl again, to visit with her as she displayed her portfolio of art, a study of mothers and daughters included. We talked about the future, we discussed her goals, all within reach as she continues her studies in Boston, where they are so lucky to have her. She and all of you who are honored here tonight, you'll have many choices in the years ahead. And just like in freshman year, you might feel distress, anxiety, and fear. You may miss friends, family, and home. You may even lament, in the words of New Jersey's own Walt Whitman, what good amid these, oh me, oh life. Cheryl, I want you and I want all of the top 10 here to remember, when you ask what good amid these, oh me, oh life, I want you to know that the answer, Whitman tells us, is within you. It is within you already. He says that you are here, that life exists and identity, that the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. I say may nothing. Cheryl, your verse began long ago. You made your mark here at Roxbury High School, and you've already made a difference to me. Happy graduation. Congratulations on all of your achievements. All of you. I wish you the best, and I hope I get to see every one of you on graduation day. Thank you.
Our next student is Ileana Gonzalez, and the teacher of her choosing, Miss Jenna Burke.
Hi, my name is Ileana Gonzalez, and I will be attending the College of New Jersey for biology in the fall. I chose to invite my sophomore year English teacher, Miss Burke. My sophomore year was Miss Burke's first year of teaching, but I can honestly say that she did an incredible job not letting us see the pressure and the stress that comes with the first year of teaching. I can't express just how much Miss Burke has impacted my education and my life. Throughout the year, Miss Burke became a teacher that I could depend upon. She was a teacher that I felt comfortable with, whether it was sharing something I had done over the weekend or even just saying that I wasn't feeling like my normal self that class. And she gave me a safe space to be myself and encouraged me to have confidence in my work. She motivated me to work harder and to stand up for what I believe in. In a time where I needed someone to push me and to call me out on the pressure that I place on myself, Miss Burke was there. This alone for any teacher should be considered as going above and beyond for a student, but what has truly inspired me is Miss Burke's consistency. Even outside of the classroom, whenever I reach out to Miss Burke, she answers. She helped me connect with other students over the summer who wanted to speak about social justice, and that was out of her own volition. She wrote me a letter of recommendation for college, looked over some scholarships for me, and even recommended books for me to read during my free time. Through all of the changing lesson plans, challenges throughout the last couple of years, and new students that she's come across, Miss Burke still makes the time to talk to me. Her relentless support, passion for students, and authenticity is something that deserves recognition. I cannot say enough about how amazing Miss Burke is, but I will say that I aspire to have half of the devotion and sincerity that she has. I am beyond grateful for everything she's done for me, and wouldn't be the student I am today without her. So thank you, Miss Burke.
Hello, students, families, and guests. I'm Ms. Burke, a sophomore English teacher here at Roxbury High School, and I have the honor of being asked to speak about one of Roxbury's most remarkable students, Ileana Gonzalez. First, I do want to say I've had the pleasure of teaching all of the students in the top 10 this year when they were sophomores, and this honor is very well deserved by all of them. They have earned it. Their sophomore year was my very first year of teaching, which makes this all the more special for me. You are my first group of students I will get to see graduate, and I have been exceedingly emotional about that lately. Ileana in particular was in my Block 1 AP Seminar class, so she has literally been there since day one, minute one of my teaching career. I've gotten to write and speak about Ileana a number of times for letters of recommendation, scholarship applications, and even at an award ceremony the other week as she received the Morris County Caring Student Award for Roxbury. Somehow writing this was harder. Maybe it's because we're nearer to graduation than ever, and I don't know how many more opportunities I'll get to sing Ileana's praises and advocate for her when there is a space she wants to be in. This ceremony is about recognizing academic achievement, but I don't think Ileana's academic achievement would be possible without her character. Going into year one of AP Seminar, I admittedly had some preconceived notions of what an honor student was like, which were very much informed by my own high school persona as a very tightly wound grade grubber at times. Ileana is a student, though, that I think boldly refutes that stereotype of the honors student. She holds herself to a high standard, she approaches her work with maturity, and yet she also did create some of the greatest moments of levity in AP Seminar. Particularly, I will never forget her plans for the carrot revolution. But in all seriousness, Ileana most impressed me in class with how she took the performance tasks that are asked of students in AP Seminar as an opportunity to explore issues that she felt most deserving of her energy. There was reforming the U.S. foster care system, as well as plans for instituting LGBTQ workplace anti-discrimination policy. And I would say her work was successful because it mattered to her. And Ileana's passion is her greatest asset. A story that she has heard me tell too many times is how one day, in the middle of a multi-day Socratic seminar, she approached me and asked if she could be exempt from participating as she had something weighing on her mind and wasn't really feeling like herself that day. She just wasn't up to it. It was easy to grant her this permission since she had participated above and beyond expectations the day prior in the Socratic seminar, and she rarely made this type of request. She wasn't someone to ask for extensions. So I granted it, and yet, something really captured Ileana's attention during the discussion. She couldn't hold herself back from engaging just as much, if not more, from the prior day. And she really got in there in the debate and offering up her own points of view. And what really stood out to me was how she emailed me after class to tell me how much better she felt having participated and getting meaningful distraction from whatever it was that was on her mind. I think that was the moment that really endeared us to each other. It was my first ever email of thanks from a student. And while I can't speak for her, I like to imagine it was a time that she felt at ease in my class, comforted and encouraged to do the work because it mattered, not because it was demanded of her. These are the attitudes that I know will take Ileana far. First, at my alma mater, the College of New Jersey, and then beyond in her pursuit of becoming a pediatric oncologist. Along the way, I know that she will continue to demonstrate maturity that endears her to her professors, that she will continue to amplify the voices of those who most need it, and that she will always continue to work hard when the work warrants doing. I am so proud of you, Ileana, but more importantly, I hope that you take pride in this accomplishment too.
Next, we have Justin Burge and a teacher of his choosing, Mr. Michael McPhee.
Hello, my name is Justin Burge, and I'll be attending American University to study government and economics. I've chosen to recognize Mr. McPhee, my AP US History teacher for 2 years and club advisor for Model United Nations and Model Congress. Throughout the 4 years that I have known him, Mr. McPhee went beyond teaching historical facts and figures. He inspired me to grow as an individual in order to shape history. The first time I met Mr. McPhee, I was a freshman, trying out for the high school's Model United Nations team. I was nervous, but in my tryout speech, he saw the glimmering of enthusiasm that he would nurture in the years to come. As my teacher and club advisor, Mr. McPhee challenged me to critically examine the world around me, the subtext of historical writing, the depth of famous speeches, the larger themes of history, and the through line between yesterday's indifference to today's inequalities. He organized trips to Rutgers University so that students like me could have the opportunity to learn from the experience of collaborating and debating with students from around the world in Model United Nations conferences. And when the world turned virtual, he enabled us to continue pursuing our aspirations and attend conferences online. As a teacher, he would adapt his lesson plans to reflect the historical context of the events that were unfolding in the modern day. Mr. McPhee always supported my ambitions, providing guidance or letters of recommendation on numerous occasions, including when I became president of the Model United Nations team, when I applied to join the Youth Advisory Council of a local congressman, and even when I applied to American University. Through world-changing events in the news and moments of personal growth, Mr. McPhee has always been by my side, helping me navigate this crazy world we live in. To all the faculty at Roxbury High School, especially Mr. McPhee, thank you for making my high school experience truly meaningful.
Harry Truman once said, "I always tell students that it's what you learn after you know it all that counts." In 2018, I found myself in an unusual position. I had too many students that wanted to participate in a Model UN conference that we were slated to attend. After talking about it with the student leaders, it was determined that we should have a tryout process so that we could fairly determine who would have the skills that would enable them to both do well and have fun at the conference. The process involved a prepared speech on an issue that we selected, being able to respond to questions regarding the topic that we selected, and to prepare remarks regarding a topic that we assigned on the spot. This process was useful in many ways. The first accomplishment was to remove the students that just wanted to go on an overnight field trip. The second thing it did was allow me to really see the skill level of the prospective members at the outset. We went through the motions, there were many promising contenders, and then a freshman dressed for the occasion walked through the door. He began clearly and spoke with authority. When he left the room, the two students and I looked at each other, and each of us said some version of the same thing. Wow. Justin was, without question, the most promising student that had tried out for the conference. But even more than that, I knew that he was one of the most promising delegates that Roxbury had for quite some time. He was confident, poised, and above all, prepared. He was exhaustively prepared. We decided off the bat that he shouldn't be put into a General Assembly committee, which was an introductory role that most students replaced. Justin was put into an advanced committee, the Bandung Conference of 1955, which, among other goals, described its goal as having sought to create an international space for Asian and African American countries breaking out of European colonialism. Participants were each given the role of representing one of the nations that were present at the conference. Justin was given the job of representing Syria, and in so doing, presented a unique proposal, the creation of the Union of Free States. Justin described it as, quote, an international cooperation organization that would promote the power of newly independent third world nations, assisting through economic and political aid toward lesser developed former colonies, which could transform them into strong competitive nations in the global economy. He then went on to explain in even greater detail his proposal for how to unite the nations of the former colonial powers in a way that would harness their economic power and improve the lives of its population, which, Justin reminded us, represented 1/2 of the world's population. Justin won an award, Roxbury's first, for Best Position Paper. But more important than the award, it showed me and everyone that read the paper that he had a precocious intellect. FDR said that happiness lies in the joy of achievement and the thrill of creative effort. Since his freshman year, Justin has represented many different nations, many different congressional districts, and for a time, he briefly served as a Supreme Court Justice. In the real world, Justin has served as a member of Congressman Malinowski's Youth Advisory Council. He attained the rank of Eagle Scout. I nominated him for the New Jersey Council of Social Studies Award, which he naturally won. He has represented New Jersey in a cultural exchange program to Japan, served his student body in a variety of roles from student body vice president to president. He was the debate team captain and president of other clubs at the same time. And all of that at the same time, he took an extremely challenging course load. Some 18 different AP and honors courses are on his transcripts. To be honest, I'm exhausted right now, having just written down only some of the things that Justin has been busy doing over the past 4 years. Justin is about to begin what I would certainly describe as both the most important and the most fun 4 years of his life. He'll be attending American University in Washington, D.C., where his major will be CLEG, Communications, Legal Institutions, Economics, and Government. Justin studied all of our presidents while in APUSH. There are, of course, many words of wisdom from our past presidents that are apt for the occasion in which we are gathered tonight. One of my favorites has always been Harry Truman. Well, Justin, I know you won't admit it, but as far as the state of New Jersey is concerned, you know it all, or at least as much as they require of an 18-year-old. I want to leave you with another Truman quote as you prepare for a possible life of public service. Quote, "Fame is a vapor. Popularity is an accident. Riches take wings. Those who cheer today may curse tomorrow, and only one thing endures: character." So far, so good. Do us proud.
We're down to our top 2 students for the class of 2021. Our salutatorian, the number 2 ranked student, is Brendan Strout, and the teacher of his choosing, science teacher at Roxbury High School, is Christine Sheldon. Roxbury High School's salutatorian for the class of 2021 comes to us from the Succousuna section of Roxbury. His grade point average is a robust 4.6533. The number 2 ranked student and salutatorian for Roxbury High School's class of 2021 is Brendan Strout. Congratulations, Brendan. In 4 years, Brendan has taken 15 honors classes and 6 AP classes. He finished 11 and a half semesters of high school with a GPA of 4.6533. And when Brendan and his family celebrate graduation, he will have completed almost 170 credits. This reflects the strength of Brendan's curricular choices, as well as his outstanding academic performance in those courses. Notably, Brendan participated in our AP seminar class. During his junior year, Brendan wrote a 25-page research paper. Well done, young man. Brendan's grades are impressive and certainly reflect intrinsic motivation, a drive to succeed, and above all else, the ability to persevere. Brendan's academic achievements are very impressive. What makes those achievements even more remarkable are the various activities he is involved in. Brendan is a member of the National Honor Society. He's a member of the Spanish National Honor Society, and he has also participated in Math League, Robotics, and Science League. Brendan reflects what we look for in a well-rounded student at Roxbury High School. Not only is Brendan a scholar, but he's a performing artist and an athlete. Brendan has been an active member of our instrumental music classes as a French horn extraordinaire, and he's been a member of the Roxbury Sound, bringing music and joy to our community during Friday Night Lights. Brendan represented Roxbury High School as a member of the boys' cross-country team. Brendan is grateful for his experience as a member of the cross-country team. He feels it's taught him that hard work pays off and that you need to have determination and patience to be successful. Brendan is close with his family. He has 2 brothers, an older brother, Aiden, who attends Stockton University, and a twin, Declan, who's also in the top 10 for the class of 2021. Declan is ranked 8th. So, Mom and Dad, really nice job. During the summer, Brendan spends more time with his family members as he babysits his younger cousins. It is apparent that Brendan has a lot going on. Along with a rigorous academic schedule and extracurricular activities, Brendan is an Eagle Scout. His Eagle Scout project reflects his commitment to our community Brendan built a garden at Roxbury Special Services. In his free time, Brendan enjoys hanging out with his friends and being outdoors. He enjoys camping, hiking, and fishing. Sounds like an Eagle Scout to me. Brendan is described as intelligent, friendly, loyal, thoughtful, and respectful. Along with being a hard worker, Brendan has a great sense of humor. Brendan plans on attending the University of New Haven, and right now he's not exactly sure what he wants to major in. However, he is certain his major will be science related. He's considering biological sciences or environmental sciences. Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you the salutatorian for the class of 2021, Brendan Strout. Congratulations one more time, Brendan. Well deserved, young man.
Hello, my name is Brendan Strout. In the fall, I plan on attending the University of New Haven in West Haven, Connecticut. There, I plan to study environmental science and extend this into the field of research. The teacher I chose to honor was a teacher that I had for one of my classes this year. And that teacher is none other than my AP Biology teacher, Mrs. Sheldon. AP Biology is known to be quite a difficult subject in class in general, and Mrs. Sheldon was able to make the class both challenging and engaging, which is hard to balance in any given class. Many classes in the past 4 years of high school was only able to make the class only engaging or only challenging, and Mrs. Sheldon was able to perfectly combine the two, making a class that is thoroughly enjoyable from beginning to end. It was no secret that online classes made it hard for students to continue learning while at their own homes, and I believe that Mrs. Sheldon was able to make online classes more intriguing than most of my other classes. Through the many breakout rooms, slideshows, and virtual labs, I still felt as if I was actually in the classroom doing these tasks. I found virtual learning in Mrs. Sheldon's class a very interactive experience. All in all, I found my experience in Mrs. Sheldon's class to be quite delightful, and being in that class also taught me a lot about independence and collaboration. I feel like I learned more than just the material that I was presented with, as I also learned to become a better scientist and a better person through Mrs. Sheldon's guidance. I'd like to thank Mrs. Sheldon for creating such amazing, cherishable memories in the face of such an unorthodox year. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Christine Sheldon, and I'm a biology teacher here at Roxbury High School. I'm truly honored that I've been asked to speak about Brendan Strout. I currently have Brendan in my AP Biology class, and I have to say that I was not surprised to see his name on the list when the top 10 students were released. Second in his class, that's impressive. This is my 21st year as an educator, and it has been by far the craziest, most frustrating, and stressful year of my entire career. But Brendan has been a calming presence for me. As described by one of his classmates, Brendan is able to make the best of any circumstance, and he has definitely proven that this year. No matter what was thrown at him, hybrid school, virtual learning, schedule changes, being the only one with a Y chromosome in this class, Brendan made the most of it. I cannot even imagine what this young man would have accomplished in a normal year. Brendan, you are one of the hardest working students I've ever encountered. You always asked great questions and demonstrated such a passion for learning. You took on a leadership role amongst your peers and immersed yourself fully in every task. I'm pretty sure we have the Boy Scouts to thank for that. I always enjoyed listening to you argue with your lab partners. One in particular, we won't name any names, because I knew that was your way of making sure you understood every topic. Your inquisitiveness kept me on my toes every day, and your humor and your calm demeanor kept me grounded. In fact, the only time I ever saw you stressed was when you were making your final college decision, and maybe after the speaking part of the AP Spanish exam. You exemplify every quality that competitive colleges are looking for. You're highly intelligent, well-rounded, driven, and yet still humble. The University of New Haven is lucky to have you. Brendan, I can say with confidence that you are going to accomplish any goals that you set for yourself. My only advice to you is to believe in yourself and to keep asking all the tough questions. You are the one who is in charge of your future, and I hope that your desire to learn never fades. Brendan, I'd like to thank you for selecting me as someone who has been influential in your life. I would also like to thank everyone else who has helped to shape you. Your teachers, your scout leaders, your club advisors, and most importantly, your parents. Mr. and Mrs. Strout, you currently have 2 sons in the top 10, and I know that you had a lot to do with that.
Congratulations to you and to all of the other top 10 students at RHS. You should be very proud of your accomplishments. I wish you all the best.
Finally, we have our valedictorian, the number one student for the class of 2021, Jason Liu, and the teacher he chose was Mr. Lee Hayden. He's from the Succasunna section of Roxbury, the number one ranked student and valedictorian for the class of 2021 with a grade point average of 4.7866, Jason Liu. Congratulations, Jason. In 4 years, Jason has taken 16 honors classes and 7 AP classes. He's finished 11 and a half semesters with a high school with a GPA of 4.7866, and perhaps the best way to describe that is, wow. When Jason graduates from Roxbury High School in June, he will have earned 165 credits. This reflects the strength of Jason's curricular choices and his outstanding academic performance in those courses. This year, Jason has 3 AP classes and 2 honors classes and a college-level English class that is new to Roxbury High School. A quick look at Jason's transcripts reveal a commitment to the sciences, math, and computer science. Also looking at his transcript, you would notice the fact that Jason never earned a grade below 93. Jason stays very busy with his academics. However, he makes sure to stay involved in other activities. At Roxbury High School, Jason is a member of the National Honor Society and the Spanish National Honor Society. Jason also participated in Key Club, Robotics, and Science League. Jason is also involved in activities outside of school. He served on the Teen Advisory Board for the Roxbury Public Library, and Jason feels this has provided him the opportunity to give back to his community. Along with serving on the Teen Advisory Board, Jason volunteered at the Roxbury Public Library over the summer. In his free time, which obviously there's not much of, Jason enjoys spending time with his friends, playing video games, exploring new technology and software, and watching Netflix. Jason is described as caring, honest, hardworking, friendly, and trustworthy. His favorite food is sushi, and he loves to travel. Jason has traveled to China, but he's really enjoyed visiting different colleges and universities to get to know new people. Jason's advice to students entering Roxbury High School is to stay true to yourself and never let others drag you down. Jason will be attending NJIT, that's the New Jersey Institute of Technology, in the fall, and he plans on majoring in computer science and looking forward to meeting new people and discovering new interests. As of right now, Jason thinks he wants to get into software design. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the valedictorian for the class of 2021, Jason Liu. Congratulations again, Jason.
Hello, I'm Jason Liu, and I will be attending the Honors College at NJIT this coming fall. I intend on majoring in computer science. I had a great experience with many teachers at Roxbury High School, but Mr. Hayden impacted my high school experience the most. When I first entered high school, I didn't have much of an idea about what I wanted to study. I found out that my sister was going to take AP Computer Science with Mr. Hayden, so I thought it would be a good idea to take Introduction to Computer Science with him as well. I quickly realized that I enjoyed the critical thinking and problem solving that computer science calls for. A year later, I took AP Computer Science with Mr. Hayden, which furthered my interest in computer science. I especially enjoyed the way Mr. Hayden taught the class. He taught us the basics that we needed to know, but left room for us to explore further through projects, which means he never gave us unnecessary assignments. My group's final project of coding a robot was a lot of fun, as it allowed my group to apply our knowledge of coding on something more realistic and practical. And so, I thank Mr. Hayden for being a great teacher and providing the fun experiences I had in his classes.
Hi there, my name's Lee Hayden, and I'm the main computer science teacher here at Roxbury High School. I'm honored that Jason Liu has chosen me as a teacher who has had a big influence on him academically. Although it's been 2 school years since I've had him in class, given he's graduating as the valedictorian, it's clear that my memories of him are consistent with the student he is today. In my computer science classes of his freshman and sophomore years, Jason was always highly self-motivated and determined to be the best. To see him in class was to know that here was someone who was going places and meant business. He was always very inquisitive and had an intuitive understanding of computer science concepts. But despite being gifted academically, Jason was not lacking in interpersonal skills and he easily fit in with his peers. He was charming and enjoyable to have in class and was well liked by all. These traits will serve him well in his future studies, his career, and in life. And I look forward to hearing of his future successes. Good luck, Jason. I'm sure you'll make us all proud.
Thank you for joining us for this virtual celebration for Roxbury High School's top 10 students for the class of 2021. The heartfelt messages reflect the relationships our school, students, teachers, and community have been able to build. And for that, I am grateful. Hopefully you understand what our students mean to our teachers and what our teachers mean to our students. These relationships make our school and our community a special place. A special thank you to our Director of Public Relations, Ann Rhodes, for putting this program together. She worked tirelessly to make sure this was a special event for everyone. So thank you very much, Annie. Again, we thank you for joining us this evening. And always remember, every day is a great day to be a Gale.